Dubai's property market is absolutely on fire, and believe me, by 2026, the opportunities are just going to get bigger. So how do you actually get in on the action? In this explainer, we are unlocking the official playbook for investing in one of the most exciting cities on the planet.
Just look at this skyline. It's way more than just a pretty picture. It's like a living, breathing index of economic power. Every single one of those towers represents a slice of a market that's pulling in a massive wave of global money. So, what did those investors know that maybe you don't? Well, let's find out.
Okay, here's the number that's got everyone talking. In 2025, property sales soared to an incredible 544.2 billion dirhams. That's a 25% jump in a single year. That isn't just growth, my friends. That is a market hitting escape velocity.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll dig into the market boom and the two main reasons behind it. Then, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty, off-plan investing, how to understand developer payment plans, and finally, how to figure out your real profit.
So, what does this boom really look like when you crunch the numbers? The data tells a pretty amazing story.
Now this is really interesting. This chart shows us a super important trend. Yeah, the number of sales is up a healthy 18%, but the total value of those sales, that shot up by an even bigger 25%. See that gap? That's the key. It tells us the market isn't just getting bigger, it's getting richer. People are targeting more premium, high-value properties.
So what's actually fueling this inferno? Well, it really boils down to two massive draws for global investors: fantastic rental income and a clear road to living there long term.
You've got two main plays here. On one side, it's a pure money move, buying property to get that sweet, tax-free rental income. On the other side, it's a lifestyle play, using that same property to get yourself a 10-year golden visa. But here's the thing, a lot of savvy investors, they're aiming for both.
And to really see just how good that income potential is, check this out. In major cities like New York or London, you're lucky to get a rental yield around 3%. But in Dubai, the average for an apartment is over 7%. That is more than double the return, which easily makes it one of the best rental markets in the world.
And then there's the lifestyle piece, all built around this incredible golden visa. For an investment of about $545,000 US, you're not just getting the keys to a property. You're unlocking a 10-year residency for you and your family, with zero tax on what you earn. And you don't even have to live there full time. It's the whole package.
And if you're thinking, oh, that sounds complicated, well, think again. The process is surprisingly simple. It's a super clear, four-step journey, all managed by the government. You get your documents ready, send them in for a quick check, do the standard security and medical tests, and then boom, you get your visa.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the how. And really, the number one way new investors are getting started right now is with a strategy called off-plan.
So what is off-plan? It's simple, really. It just means you're buying a property straight from the developer before it's even finished being built. Think of it like getting in on the ground floor. Literally. You lock in today's price, and the property's value could go up quite a bit by the time it's handed over to you.
And how popular is it? This chart says it all. In 2025, off-plan deals made up almost 63% of all home sales. So this isn't some niche tactic for a select few. This is the main way people are investing in Dubai property today.
But wait, is it safe? That's the big question, right? And the answer is a resounding yes. The whole system is built to protect you. First, all your payments go into a special government-watched bank account, and the money is only given to the developer as they hit specific building goals. Second, your ownership is legally locked in right away with a registration called an Okud.
Okay, so how do you actually pay for one of these off-plan places? This is where the Dubai market gets really smart, thanks to these flexible, interest-free payment plans that come directly from the developers.
This is probably the biggest question on your mind, right? How can I afford to invest without needing a huge pile of cash or getting a typical bank loan? Well, the secret is in the awesome flexibility that the developers themselves offer.
You'll see a few common models. The 1% monthly plan is fantastic for managing cash flow. Construction-linked plans are great because you only pay when you see actual progress. But the post-handover model, man, that's a game changer. It lets you start making rental income from a tenant before you've even finished paying off the property yourself.
And different developers have their own signature styles. So if you like the idea of small monthly payments, you might look at a company like Danube. If you prefer paying only when things get built, Emaar is known for that. And for those great post-handover deals, you could check out developers like Damak. This gives you a great roadmap for who to research first. All right, last but definitely not least, let's talk about the real bottom line. How do you look past the big, flashy numbers to figure out what you'll actually make?
This is probably the most crucial thing to get right, understanding the difference between gross yield and net yield. Gross yield, that's the shiny number you see in the brochure. But net yield, that's the actual cash that ends up in your bank account after all the bills are paid. That's the number that matters.
So what are those costs? Well, you've got to factor in stuff like annual service charges for the building, set a little aside for maintenance, maybe some fees if you hire a company to manage it for you, and hey, it's smart to account for a month here or there when it might be empty between tenants. Getting this right is key to a realistic forecast.
Which kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We've seen the insane growth, the incredible tax-free returns, the super flexible ways to get in, and this clear path to residency. So, when you look at a market with this much going for it, you have to ask yourself, is the biggest risk just not being in it at all?